So I'm here with Yvonne Brown from Ontario Women Anglers, and I have a few questions for you, Yvonne, if
Sure
you do
thing.
not mind. So my first question is, do you think it's important to get more kids and girls involved in fishing, and why?
Absolutely. I think that getting kids of any age, boys or girls, getting them outdoors in different activities is super important these days. I know a lot of people have probably talked to you about, technology plays a big part in their lives and for them to do something else, but I think in my eyes it's really good to get them out so they can learn about the resources that we have, and that for future generations that they have an understanding of how they protect those resources for their children and grandchildren to come.
Okay, so my next question is, can you give me a tip for someone who maybe wants to take a kid fishing for the very first time?
Sure thing. I think that parents, sometimes they buy rods and reels that might be a little bit too big for them because they're hoping to get a few years use out of them. But I think buying equipment that's suited for their dexterity, for their ability to handle. So when they're small kids, like those little 3-foot kid rods are great. I don't recommend getting the ones with all the cartoon characters because their tastes change, right? Star Wars might be super popular one year, but then it's something else the next year. Then from that, when they get a little bit older, maybe like a 5-6 rod with a light reel, like a 500 series reel. And again, when they get older. And for new anglers in general, I always recommend like a 6-6 medium fast action rod with like a 2500 series reel, which is kind of all purpose for bass, small pike, panfish. Once people get kind of comfortable with that and they want to maybe, let's say for example, they want to fish like bass in heavy cover, they're going to maybe have to graduate into getting into a casting rod and a bait cast reel. And that takes a little bit of practice, as you know. I know that you use a bait caster as well. For me, it took me like a whole season to get used to it. I still do backlashes, I still have to pick them and all that. But I think once you get the hang of a bait caster, you use spinning rods less and less.
And so, what new and exciting stuff do you guys have coming up in 2019?
Well, we're hoping to do a walleye event. It's something that I've been trying to do for a few years, but as you know as well, that walleye bite's a little bit different. It's harder to learn because it can be so soft and subtle. So it looks like we might try to team up with another organization and get ladies. It's going to be a shore fishing event as well, so they're not going to need a boat. We started a new thing last year. It's called the Mom and Me Fishing Day, so we're probably going to have that again this year. And something that's new, it's not coming out this year, but we're going to bring it out next year, January 2020. And you're getting an exclusive on this, is that we are going to have an Ontario Women Anglers Junior program. So this is going to be geared specifically to young ladies like yourself. So from like under 18, because most of our events are for adults. And we're hoping to get a lot of new, younger anglers involved in the sport through the organization.
That's very cool. So I love fishing, but one of my other passions is hockey. Do you have any other passion or sport or activity that you like other than fishing?
I think since starting the ladies organization, it's kind of taken up a lot of my time and some of my older hobbies. My family used to be really involved with lacrosse. My boys played, so we were involved with that. I was a volunteer for many years. I've played badminton for a long time. Again, I kind of have veered away from it just because I've had so many other things on my plate. But those are two sports that we used to be really involved with.
So if you had to choose between badminton and lacrosse or fishing, which one do you think you'd choose?
I think you know the answer to that. Yeah, we love fishing. I have 3 kids. Well, they're not kids, they're young adults now, but the middle one, Kyle, he's an avid fisherman. He's out in the water or the ice more than I am. But yeah, definitely it's in our family. My 2 other kids, they'll come out fishing. I had my daughter out lake trout fishing last week. We just love it. I think it's a great family activity, something that everybody can do outdoors. It's not terribly expensive. Of course, it depends on how much you want to get involved, if you're going to start doing tournaments, things like that. But just for, the average weekend fishermen, people who do it at the cottage, it doesn't cost a lot of money. And another good thing that I wanted to mention is that if you are starting out in fishing, or maybe you want to bring a friend out, from June 29th to July 7th is National Fishing Week. People who live in Ontario that are Canadian residents can go out fishing at different activities. They don't need to have a license. So
Okay.
if you're interested in that, or you have friends that are interested, there's a website called Ontario Family Fishing Events, and they list all sorts of, it's mostly like family events and kids derbies, and there's usually no cost to it, so they provide equipment and you don't need to have a license.
That's so cool. Thank you so much for your time.
You're welcome, Avery. Great to talk to you.
Yep.